That was some good stuff there. That was a great little game out of PB Head. Played very, very well. I loved the fact that he didn't use the adrenaline boosts on the Offworld. The obvious play. Because it very much looked to me like nobody knew where his Offworlds were. Especially this Offworld up here, which I don't think anybody actually ever figured out was an Offworld for a very long time. Went undefended by a Goon Squad for so long. And that's such a big deal because Goon Squads were up there costing like $20,000, $30,000. If PB had committed to that, it would have made it harder for him to use. He wouldn't have had that money to do for other things. So it's kind of a very big deal that he wasn't forced to keep buying up Goon Squads to defend his Offworlds. And instead, they just went through unmolested, and he dealt with his opponent's Offworlds by purchasing them directly. Very strong stuff. Soren says he's calling. We'll talk to Soren then. Hello. Hello. Well, we answered. I'm not hearing anything from Soren. I don't know if he hears anything from me. Nope, call ended. Well, there's that. We'll figure it out, guys. We'll figure it out. I'll toss him another call back. And let's go on over to the post-game report while we wait for that. So PB had a lot of money in steel at the end of the game. Harder to see exactly where he made all his profits before that. But you could tell it was just generally being in the strong resource at the right time. Chemicals made a fair amount of money. Oxygen made good money. Food made good money. I mean, it was just generally a nice spread of stuff from him. Rather than just one thing or the other, combined with good use of the off-world markets, making him another clean million on top of that. Soren says he's calling via phone. PB Head looks like might also be trying to call. I'll see about... Alright, Soren's with another call. There we go. Hello? Hello, Soren? Let me make sure that I've actually got this set up correctly. Hold on. I've been using Skype for other things lately, and I need to make sure my audio settings are all good. Alright, I should be able to hear him now. No? Come on, work with me. There we go. Hello, Soren.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Everything's good now.
PB's trying to call?
Yeah, PB had sent a call to me. We could add him to the call.
Wow, quite the comeback.
It was a good comeback.
That was a great series of games.
Yeah, I expected PB to win though, so you know, I was getting a little nervous there.
It wasn't looking good.
He made me nervous, but got it done nonetheless.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, I had 2 games where I was in.
Hello.
Hey, PB, congratulations.
Thanks. It's fine. It's good to be back on top.
You made me nervous. I was like, come on, you can do this.
I had to make it really, really an awesome.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. You know? Just had to keep things interesting. Just make sure you spread the wins right, and then go for it at the last moment.
Right.
Yeah, I think I fell down the last 2 matches with. I had pretty good games, but I'm totally incapable. I'm totally unable to find a hologrammed Offworld in a 4-player game.
Nobody found PB's Offworlds that game. Yeah. It felt like, oh man.
I was all excited about Network Firing and seeing his Chem Labs, and then I saw one was Goon Squad. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Why would you Goon Squad that? Oh well.
Yep. It's
so terrifying. Not just not knowing where they are, but not knowing how many are coming after you. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like should you build a second one? You know. I mean, in my case, I had to basically because it's my only shot. But yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. And PB had that one hologrammed Offworld up for so long underneath his Geo and above his steel. Never got hit. Not once. And did you adrenaline boost that ever? I didn't think you did. Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I was like, I had the adrenaline boost in my hand, and I was like,
and you never used it.
Boost this, and I could have used it to bot out Cubit or Blues faster. Because there was points where I could.
But it would have revealed the Offworld.
It would have revealed the Offworld.
Exactly. So then you used it for power eventually.
Yeah, it was a great spot because it looks like a bad steel mill, but you're kind of hemmed in there, so it's kind of, you could be like, well, I guess he was just stuck with a bad location, right? You know, tricky. Even with spy, I mean, in Beta 7, you're always going to get spies in a 4-player game with holograms, but it's still hard to find them.
Yeah, it still can take some work. It's not necessarily an obvious thing.
Yep.
Where they all are. It was good. Blues should have been defended a bit better there, though.
What were you launching at the end there, Soren? Were you launching oxygen?
I think water and food. Oxygen, I guess, just got too expensive at some point, so I turned it off.
I was watching water and food too. I should have can't. I was getting lazy at the end there. I could have canceled.
Yeah. Well, I had a huge mistake in that I've gotten used to the new UI in Beta 7, where when you turn on auto launch, it just it launches as many of them as possible. So I think for a pretty good, decent chunk of time, I had 2 off-worlds, but I was only shipping with 1 of them.
Oh no!
Just because I keep forgetting that that's the way Beta 6 works. I don't think it cost me enough, but I don't think it cost me the game, but I did get to what? I was probably in the mid-80s to buy you out.
Oh yeah, you were up there, and I was watching it, obviously.
Sure. I suppose you could have paid off debt, or did you even have debt?
Oh yeah, I had 200K debt. So
you had a lot of debt to pay off.
Okay, so you had a pretty good lead.
Yeah,
I was paying off 3,000 a second on power.
On power, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you had 3 HQs. You're supposed to win that situation. So, I mean, the dynamics worked out fine. I guess. Was one of the buys early? I can't remember.
Yeah,
the buy on Blues, he got to the majority buyout.
Oh, that's right. That's where I was mad at
Qubit.
I was mad at Qubit. I was like, Asimov, come on, what are you doing?
Yes. And that made a huge difference.
If is Qubit in chat? Did he have the money? Because that cost us the game right there.
I don't know if he had the money or not. I couldn't tell in the moment.
I was trying to get there. I even sold a share of my own stock.
I saw that.
Dropping myself below 50% to buy up a share, because that's how you got to play.
That was good. That was a good play. I was annoyed by that play. Luckily, it didn't matter. That was a good play.
Yeah. I almost wonder if the sell cooldown shouldn't be there in that situation. You shouldn't ever get a cooldown for selling your own stock, because, geez, if you're selling your own stock, you are putting yourself heavily at risk,
That's fair.
On the other hand, if I could suddenly sell all my stock, then suddenly I'd have a large...
I think that when you get to the end of the game, that becomes a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
8 shares at $60,000, that's a lot of money. I could have been in that game, a minute earlier.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the game's always safer with that cooldown, I think, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else anybody wants to talk about from that series?
I felt like dry ice condensers were the MVP for me, at least.
They got you some work done. I was nervous about them at some point because, in particular, there was a period of time when there was a dust storm going on, and you'd known it was coming for a while during the night. And so I would have liked to see the dry ice condensers disappear at that point and turn into something like glass. But they still worked out well, because eventually oxygen rebounded.
Yeah.
Back to the point of being strong again.
Yep. Qubit 4-player, too chaotic.
I do have to admit.
Go ahead.
I did get a little lucky. I did feel like the black market effects did not land on me nearly as often as they should have leading up to my first buy.
Well, I don't think anybody realized you were even in a position to make buys, because looking at the rest of your territory, it was okay. But
they didn't realize I had the
You didn't realize you have the Offworld. And then you're sitting on no labs, no hacker array. You've got nothing.
Yeah, that kind of surprised me, too.
So nobody was ready for you to have cash.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, we want to do just in chat. We want to do a team tournament soon. I know Layla really wants to organize one.
Roller really wants to.
And we'll see it. I'm not sure if Beta 7 is coming out next week or the week after, and maybe if it's the week after, maybe we can figure out a way to get team chat in there. Although I guess we could do the tournament without team chat, considering it's not like we're going to be playing with random people, right? People should know who they're playing with. So we're probably going to have a rule where anyone who's been to the semifinals cannot be on a team with each other.
All right, who gets Well,
No
I guess it
no
depends on
Qubit
which
PB
semifinals.
teams.
That's
All
okay.
the semifinals.
I know who I want for my teammates. So.
PB Head's just going to work both computers at once.
That would be an interesting challenge. Yeah, that was a weird map. I felt like there were a bunch of great wait, no, or am I thinking of the last one where there were a bunch of great scientific spots, and then they all disappeared? In which case, at that point, they don't. Yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. PB made Robo work a lot. Did you play Robo the whole way, PB?
There was no, I didn't. There was a game where I was Scavenger. There might have been a game where I was Scientific.
Right.
Early games, but I was really hoping for a Robo win. So there we go.
And you got two of them. One with power and one without. So you know.
Yeah, everyone won but Scavenger. Go figure. I mean, it makes sense in a sense, right? Like Scavenger is a little neutered when there's 4 players because you can't, your black market power is not so awesome.
Scavenger almost had it at one point, but people managed to rally and knock it down.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
So I guess we should talk about Destroy Buyout a little bit.
Sure.
I think it was okay. I don't remember too many games where like it really screwed up the game in any way. And in many ways, I think a lot of the games were closer because of it. But I'm happy to discuss it.
I think the game where we saw the biggest influence from Destroy Buyout would have been that game where Qubit was Scavenger. That game 3, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Qubit was Scavenger. He gets a nice, huge early lead from a quick majority buyout on PB. And then that doesn't give him a particularly serious advantage. It's just 6 tiles that he got out of that, right? And so from there, like his only advantage he really got from that was 6 claims.
Yeah.
And then an extra stock price boost.
Right.
And of course, if he had bought me out, it would have been over at that point.
Yeah.
Because I very clearly debt spiraled.
Yeah.
Very clearly, forced that upon me. So.
Now that's going to be irrelevant in the next patch anyway, because we're having a new feature which I've been testing, but I'm pretty happy with, which is that when you do a majority buyout, the other company becomes your subsidiary.
Well, I think that wasn't a majority that game.
Oh, that was going on in that daily.
Yeah. It wasn't a majority buyout. It was a straight buyout.
It was a straight buyout. Like PB had 2 of himself. Somebody else had 3 of him. And Qubit pushed to the full.
He death spiraled. That's right. I got paid out of that. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I mean that happens, right? I mean, if one player dies, you're going to have a kind of an unusual game. So, I don't think Destroy Buyout or normal buyout would have, I mean,
if it were normal buyout, Qubit probably would have steamrolled that one.
Yeah.
So
in a sense, Destroy help that one.
On the other hand, if it's normal buyout, you play differently.
Yeah, that's true as well.
And
yeah, I mean, what it really comes down to is what people. Because actually, I at this point, I kind of feel like Destroy does keep the games a little closer, but I don't think it really makes a huge difference. Nowhere near as much of a difference as people thought going into the tournament. Mm-hmm. Is my opinion. So I think now it's kind of a question of what people enjoy more.
I think the most important aspect of it is that it actually keeps prices high, because when you buy someone out, you're reducing the number of claims in total. So like this game, the prices are, and there's 3 prices that are above 300, and and then steel was hacked to 1,000, whatever. Yeah. And then there's another like 4 that are like the prices are really, really high. Which
it's fair. Although Destroy Buyout isn't necessarily the only way to approach that, if that is a concern. There are other ways to make prices higher.
Right. The point is that it wasn't totally an off-world rush.
Yes, that's true.
I won by building off-worlds, but clearly you could make some serious money off of fuel. You could make some serious money off of glass. And Soren was making a lot of money off of glass and I think electronics.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I mean, I am bumping up I'm bumping up the amount you get from a Destroy Buyout in Beta 7. You're going to get, instead of 4 times, you're going to get 5 times. So you'll get 10 claims instead of 8.
Gotcha.
And if you buy out someone who's bought out someone else, you'll get 15 instead of 10.
Okay.
So it will. That'll play an impact as well. To me, I think at this point is really just the aesthetics of, do people prefer taking over like a bunch of buildings, or do they prefer having to start over from scratch each time? Because I think with the changes coming up, I just don't feel like it made a huge impact in the tournament beyond just the normal stock dynamic. And yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I kind of like the general idea of the majority buyout vassal situation you're talking about, but that doesn't seem to go well with Destroy. The basic idea behind it seems awkward.
Because
I'm just going to take you over and then let you work for a while, basically.
I ran into it,
but eventually I'm just going to knock you down.
Well, keep in mind, another player
I didn't understand what's going on.
Yeah, another player can buy your vassal.
Yeah.
Like, they're still theoretically up for grabs. The main thing is it takes, it gets rid of the Walking Dead. You're not going to have humans sitting around who are just going to be kingmaker, basically. But you don't get a ton. You get 10% of their revenue, right? Which is, it's not that much, right? It's not going to, it's going to help, but you're going to get way more money if you actually take them over,
right?
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Fortunately, we still have some time left, so people can play with it. But I do think it'll be an improvement. I mean, to me, the major issues with the game were not necessarily this question of who to buy out at the end. I think that's just kind of like, that'll always be a problem to some extent, and I don't think that problem is solvable. Like, to me, the bigger issue is like this issue of people getting owned early. And I believe that's going to get solved with subsidiaries. Like, I'm trying, like in our game, did we have did we have one majority buyout in the 5 games?
I mean,
there were a few, I think. I mean, PB got that last one.
Everyone was a majority buyout, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Everyone was game 4. Was in game 4.
Well, that was just a roll, and in that case, I think that's fine. Like, if you have that big of a lead, you'll just that's somehow you pull off a rush and you're going to end the game, and that's fine, right?
I do have one more, interesting thing to talk about.
Sure.
The meta of the game. I'm not sure Qubit, I, and some other people were practicing a lot for this tournament. We did a lot of practicing. Last week, Wednesday, Thursday, I was beating Qubit I think I won like 3 games in a row against him.
Are you done?
Yeah, we're talking about that.
So who won?
PB1.
Oh, man.
And what happened was they were all doing Hacker Array plays, Offworld plays. I was sitting back going Patent Lab and Engineering Bay.
Right.
So Qubit saw that. He took that. I left for the weekend. Qubit was playing Patent Lab Engineering Bay, Patent Lab Engineering throughout the weekend. I come back, I see everyone saying, "Oh, it's Qubit because he's gone Patent Lab at HQ level 3 or 4." It's like, okay, yeah, I see what you did there, Qubit. That comes in, and in these games, for game 1, game 2, game 3, a lot of people are going Patent Labs and Engineering Bays.
Yep.
It's very interesting. So I'm like, let's go Hacker Array. Let's go an Offworld Rush. Let's beat that meta that we developed in the practice games. It's really sort of interesting how that cycled around there.
Sure.
And, at least maybe I'm over exaggerating, maybe I'm under exaggerating. I mean, clearly other people had, this was not a long con for me for sure. But sure. I'm just, it's very interesting to me how that meta just shifted so rapidly within a week. Just how it all changed. It's amazing to me.
Well, it's to me, it's all about short term versus long term, right? You're hunkering down with an engineering bay and a patent office. Like, you're expecting the game to go a long way. Like, the game that I did win, I'm pretty sure I won. A big part of it was I got some really key patents.
Oh yeah.
And but the game has to go long enough for them to pay off. So yeah, I really enjoy games where the patent office comes into play, and then I think there's just these interesting gaps now between when you upgrade, in that you're a little bit vulnerable. You know, you hit level 5, or you research a bunch of patents. Like, that's where you're burning your money, and if you're not making a lot of money elsewhere, you're vulnerable. You know.
Yeah. People do talk about how if you get to level 5, and again, that's kind of how I won game 4. I saw someone go to level 5. They had no money reserves.
Yeah.
Time to buy them.
Yep.
I had the money. Hit the button.
Yep. Yeah. There's like no way to. Yeah, you're vulnerable. Like when you have no reserves whatsoever. Like, yeah. I mean, this game would have been just totally different, you know, if Cuba had been able to just get that one more share stock. And I forget if he had just upgraded or what was going on with him. I mean, I was a few thousand away from buying the other one, but
I think he had recently upgraded, but I'm not sure. He was running behind everyone that game anyway, so.
Yeah.
Oh. I will say, I don't mind Destroy Buyout, just to get back to that topic, but it does feel like, I like the idea of giving the Destroy Buyout player maybe a few more claims. I'm wondering if it would be valuable to, in addition to that, make it easier for them to utilize those claims somehow. Even just something like a discount on non-advanced buildings, like the next 10 that they, or, you know, equivalent to the number of claims that they acquired, something like that. You know what I mean? Because it does feel like you make a buy and everything still feels like maybe a bit more of a struggle than it should be for that player.
Yeah. I mean, I think as long as people aren't too vulnerable to get bought out as soon as they do the buyout, like, I think that's okay. Like, I like the idea that there's like this trough you go through after a buyout where you have to build yourself back up again a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't see any of these games as having an example of a situation where Destroy Buyout was like destructive to the balance or the way it worked out, right? So, I mean, that's what this tournament was for. That doesn't necessarily mean that I think Destroy Buyout should be the default. I'm still kind of mixed minds about that. But I don't think it's destructive to the balance at any rate.
I guess some of it's just that awful feeling of after a buyout and Destroy Buyout sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've got to start all over again. I can't afford to. It feels bad sometimes.
Yeah. For me, I usually kind of like the sense that I can
yeah, it's a fresh new set of tiles, and sometimes you can look at it that way.
Right. I mean, it's the only way to essentially get new tiles, and like you can get into them very quickly. Or I mean, you know, like, I mean, obviously if you don't have the money, you can't get them quickly, but like, it's sometimes faster to do that than to figure out which tiles to delete. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yes, and that is a nice thing. I agree with that side of things.
Yeah. So. Yeah. We'll see. I guess it's okay as is. I think in that it's going to get some tweaks. The next version also, like when you buy a player out, you're going to get all of the buildings you bought out in non-destroy bout. They're all going to basically go on slowdown for a couple of minutes. So like there's like an assimilation tax basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like sort of an alternate way to have a little bit of rubber banding for the player that gets the buyout. And so we'll see how that goes. And essentially, I think I almost see the two modes as being kind of an aesthetic choice. But at some point, I don't know. I would prefer if I somehow am able to make up my mind about like which one really is better or not.
Right.
But anyway, I think we can definitely go another version of the game where both versions are there, and see what people prefer. So.
Right.
What's the next tournament gonna be like?
I don't know. We're gonna probably wait till Beta 7, which I don't know. It's still coming because we're working on the UI. I know you wanted to, Layla wanted to do a team tournament, and I know everyone seems to be interested in that. So that would be pretty cool. I think we'll probably want to do.
You guys cannot be on the same teams.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make some rules about who can or cannot be on the same team.
I'd like to do another 4-player at some point, but a team one would be very cool. So.
It's no more than 2 people per team. That got ridiculous.
No, it's no reason to go that crazy. No.
All right.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for watching broadcasting the games, and they really turned out great.
Yeah, it was good.
It's kind of like what you hope for. The only thing I didn't want to happen was for the series to last 2 games. You know. And,
yep.
We can get that.
And you guys avoided that quite nicely.
Yep.
So, you still planning your usual stream tomorrow, Soren? Tomorrow morning?
Yeah, I'm not really even sure what I'm going to do with it.
Gotcha.
But maybe I'll be playing the campaign, and because I'm not sure if the UI may still be the new UI. I don't really want to play on the old UI or the old rules anymore.
Right.
And but the new UI might still be too laggy. So I'll figure it out.
Gotcha.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody.
Yep.
And,
Indeed.
We'll see you at the next tournament.
Thanks for streaming, Zoltar. I know your voice is probably really sore at this point.
Oh, I'm all good. Don't worry about me. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay. See you around.
Bye.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for us here today. I'm going to be trying to get back on track with my streaming over on my stream fairly soon. We'll get back into those standard 4-player FFA matches that we love so much and that you guys got to see quite a lot of. We'll probably be doing it without Destroy Buyout. Might try doing it with Majority. We'll have to see how things go. For now, I'm going to hop on out of here. Thank you everyone for coming out and watching, and I'll see you next time.